Hello and good afternoon. And today I'm here talking to Michonne Palmer, who was a teacher of a subject I haven't talked to anybody about before and has moved into a sector that I've talked to one other person about before, but we'll come to that. Hello, Michonne. Thank you so much for giving up your time this afternoon.
Oh yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
Good. Okay. Um, so tell us about your teaching career. Why did you want to be a teacher in the first place?
I think initially I grew up with my mum being a teacher. She's still a teacher. So it was something I knew about. And once I'd done my degree, I was a bit unsure as to what it is that I wanted to do. And I decided to kind of volunteer in schools, do a little bit of supply, PPA cover, and I just knew, okay, this is definitely what I want to do. I love working with young people, and I kind of wanted to be the person that I needed when I was in school. And I wanted just to be that person for the young people that were in the school. So I decided to do my PGC and become a teacher in music.
Music, lovely. Okay, so and how did your career progress? Did you stay in the same school? Did you seek promotion?
So I initially started off part time in two schools at the same time, and that's simply because I first of all thought, okay, maybe I'm going to do vocal tutoring instead with like a music service. So when I got accepted onto that, I then thought, I don't think this is exactly what I want to do. So I kind of had to apply a little bit later than I normally would have liked to. So I had two schools that I was working with that were quite different. And one was just like a girls' school, the other they're secondary, by the way. Another were just like a mixed school, so they were just very different, just the way the classroom was. So I was within those schools for a few years, and then the last school that I was at, I was there for 4 years, in a secondary school within Birmingham.
Right, yeah. And and you took on extra responsibilities.
Yeah, so once I got to the school that was at previously, I then became the head of performing arts. So that was looking into drama and music as well. And then just kind of leading the learning there, planning the lessons for some teachers who weren't actually music specialists as well. So
Mm,
like planning learning for them, making sure that there were music lessons for the pupils, that there were like shows or concerts that they could be a part of, or after school and extracurricular activities for them as well.
right, okay. And when did the magic start to wear off?
Oh, I can't even pinpoint, but I think essentially it got to a point where I felt like what I wanted, which was to be around young people, helping them, nurturing them, teaching them. That was no longer at the forefront because I didn't have the time, I didn't have the capacity. There were just so many other things that I had to do that sometimes felt like tick box, what you call checkbox exercises. And
I'm
I
sure
just
we can
thought,
all relate to that. Yeah.
yeah, I just thought this is too much. This is no longer fun. This is no longer allowing me to do what I intended to do. And I just thought I need to get out, but I don't know how. Essentially, that was it. And you keep telling yourself, I'm gonna leave, but then you don't. So it was like that for a little bit, um, until I got to my maternity leave and was like, right, now I kind of need to make a change, essentially.
Yeah, right. So while you had the time while you were on maternity leave.
Yeah, and you say
So yeah. So how did you arrive at the decision of what you wanted to move into? What kind of process did you go through for that?
that's the thing. I think that was why I was to and froing because I genuinely didn't know what to do. I thought, what can I do? I've been teaching for 7 years now. This is all I know. I don't have any skills. What I'm gonna do? That's how it felt because you just kind of feel like you're stuck in a little box. So I think I'd seen like an Instagram advert for like a digital marketing bootcamp, and one of my friends happened to send me a link as well, and was like, "Why don't you look into this?" And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be any good at it, but it did have something that piqued my interest in reference to like social media or creating content. And I thought, okay, let's just, see what it's about. So I applied for that. Um, and that was quite an intense, like 3 month course. And I learned a lot. Some things I'm still learning now. But essentially, when I just looked at all the different areas within that industry, and I just thought, yeah, I think this is something I want to have a go at, because I'm interested and I'm learning about it. And sometimes when something's new, it's scary, but it also piques my interest. So I was like, right, I want to explore this a lot more, and that's basically what I did. Scarily, but I did it. I'm doing it. So I don't regret it at all.
Right, yeah. And that boot camp with a nice bit of circularity was run by,
Wow. What was we auditioned for Ella Orr, the lovely Ella Orr. He was previously on Roots
yeah,
Out
she was
TV.
our episode 4.
Yeah.
Um,
So she was my lecturer, if you like, which was amazing because she just totally understood where I was coming from. So when we had our one-to-ones, she could just lay out for me like, this is what it's going to look like. Things are going to be different, but you can do it. It was also having the realization that when it comes to your salary and things, it's going to look different because you've been doing something for 7 years. You're going to be starting again, kind of brand new. And can you handle that? Or, just what she kept saying to me, it's not impossible because she's done it, she's doing it. And that was a really, really great boost because I thought, oh, there's someone like me who's I can see how, what their hard work is. I can see it,
yeah,
see all over LinkedIn and that kind of thing. And it's great because that's something that I can, strive to do and to be as well. So
yeah.
that was really a great experience for me.
Mm. Did you have any thoughts of maybe going freelance with this, or did you always intend to go into employment, another salaried position?
I think I basically did freelance work because I said I needed experience. I knew that I couldn't just go from teaching, well, I didn't think I could go from teaching straight into just like a full time position within digital marketing. I didn't see how that could happen. And it also made sense for me to freelance so that the things that I'd learned, I could actually put into practice. So that's what I did during the course. And even when the course had finished and I was doing the odd like free courses online and things like that, I was just freelancing, sometimes volunteering my services if I knew that was going to help, just kind of build up my portfolio and see what worked well, what didn't work well, and that kind of thing. And then when I felt confident enough, I was like, right, I'm going to hand in my notice and I'm going to actually apply for a full time job because I knew that I didn't think I was there to just freelance straight away, to do that consistently, just to get, maybe the wages that I needed to get. But I just went for a full time role after that.
Right, okay. And so all the training, the boot camp and the freelancing and stuff, you were doing that while you were on maternity leave
Yeah,
to so that you could go back and do your contractual bit, hand your
yeah,
notice in,
yeah.
and yeah, that must have
So
felt nice.
yeah, it did. When it was that scary thing, it was like, I'm doing this. I'm so glad I'm doing it. Right now, you've got to find a job because I didn't have anything permanent lined up. Like I said, I was doing the freelancing here and there, but I didn't have anything lined up. So I just said to myself, this is what you need to do. You need to get a job by September. Um, and I kind of said, and if you don't, that means you're going to have to do supply. Do you want to do supply, Michonne? You probably don't. So it was kind of like,
You're very motivational.
yeah. So, yeah. So I made sure, like, you have a role to get. Yeah, you need to do it.
Yeah. So did you? Did you get your
So
job by September?
yeah, yes, I did. I did. So I think I handed in my notice in May. I actually got the role in like June or July, and I started in September. So it was just a great relief. And I got the role within an educational charity because that was something I kept in mind. That if I apply, I was applying to a few jobs and I got lots of rejections. Because it was literally, well, you don't have experience or you just got ignored or whatever the case might have been.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, play on what you do have, education. I have lots of experience. So I thought, why not apply for marketing roles within the educational sector, which really just made me have a bit of an edge. So probably to other candidates, which is why I got that role with them in the first place. And that was amazing because that charity was basically just to promote teachers, to kind of thank them for being amazing and to give them awards. And I thought, why wouldn't I want to work, for a company that actually appreciates teachers? Because I don't hate teachers or hate teaching.
No.
It just became really hard. And it wasn't where I felt comfortable to be. So it was great knowing that I could take my newfound skills and put them into kind of boosting those that are new, that are still in teaching, and maybe those that I don't, but I know I wanted to support. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole concept of a charity that's there to support and celebrate teachers is something that I hadn't heard of before. I didn't know they exist. So I think it'd be nice if you give me the details, and I'll put those in the show notes so that people can and have a look at them and see what they do. And
Definitely, definitely, because
yeah,
essentially it's a teaching awards trust, and they just want to highlight what we do as teachers, and it allows pupils, it allows parents to celebrate that as well, and it's like all for free, and just kind of making the teachers then go and into like an award show and just have a nice night where they're celebrated. And I just think, why not? We need more
yeah,
of it, to be honest.
yeah. So from having sat in the staff room thinking, I want to leave, but I can't do anything because I'm a teacher, you then move into something that the very fact that you were a teacher is the
Yeah,
pivotal reason for you having probably got the job.
that's very true.
Yeah. Okay. So where did you go on to from there? Because you said you worked for them, so you're not doing now. So then what?
So I then went on to, I'm currently where I am now. I'm a marketing or content and campaigns marketing executive for a higher education company. So still in line with education, as you can see. So essentially, I will create ads and content for them. So we can just promote some like university courses for undergraduate and postgraduate students. And again, it's education in a different kind of way, but again, it helped me having those experiences. It helped me having really good presentation skills, because that's what I did every day to 30
Mm,
pupils, and it's great that I can put those things into practice. Those are things I didn't have to restart and relearn. I'm just adding them. So there are things out there that us teachers can do, even when it feels like we don't have the skills, we don't have the capacity. The things you do every day are what jobs and companies actually want, and think of
mm.
amazing, that we kind of dismiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and you're not necessarily limited to just moving into something connected with your subject specialism, because obviously you were a music teacher
Yeah.
and now you're doing digital marketing. So you said, I mean, obviously there was the boot camp, there was Ella's boot camp. Now, obviously, she's not a charity. She's not offering that to people for free. So there was a cost implication with that. Obviously, it wasn't prohibitive because you decided to do it. You invested in yourself to do that.
Wow, this was the thing with the actual course. That course was free initially. I don't know if it's still free.
Ah,
So it was free for that course. It was covered. I think the DFE did something to like help people get some new skills, and I just thought, okay, I might as well do it. So then once that was great. Obviously, it was a bonus, especially as I was on maternity leave and the pay was like.
yeah, yeah. So it's
So
always worth investigating then to see if there's any funding available from the
absolutely.
DFE or
Absolutely.
yeah,
There are. I know that happened then. I don't think they've stopped it. I think it wasn't just in marketing. There was in cybersecurity, lots of different roles. So I think it's always good just to research, because then after I did the course, I just started finding free bits courses anyway, which were to do with social media strategy, or to do with SEO, just to do with things within my field that I didn't know enough about. Like even trying to, if you're thinking, oh, I don't really have the funds to kind of, put into learning something new, but you want to, sometimes they'll give you the course material for free. The exam itself costs. But if you want to get the knowledge, get the course materials, it's there for you to access. And that's some of the things that I did as well.
yeah.
Um, so there are things there, even if, you're thinking, I don't really have the money to invest at the moment, there's lots of free, really good knowledge on the web, for us to
Oh yeah,
access.
Google is definitely your friend,
Oh
isn't it?
gosh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Um, so is there anything that you did that you wished you hadn't done? And is there anything that you thought, no, I'm not going to bother doing that? And with hindsight, you think it would have been beneficial if you had?
um, I think there was just a very big difference for me going from a school structure. You're so used to things kind of being not done for you. There's a timetable. You know who
Yeah,
you're teaching, what you're teaching, and what time. And then when you're going into a different sector and it's like, no, you're planning your own time, it can be a bit of a shock sometimes. And when I was initially working with the first company that I was with, I think I would now don't ask not ask questions, but do research first. Try and find out exactly what it is that they're asking for. Try and use your own initiative first, and then go on to ask questions. But I think because I lacked a bit of confidence initially, I was probably like, how do I do this?
Mm.
Whereas now, I've built on that, and it's kind of like, okay, what can you do for yourself first? There are lots of resources, like you just previously said. YouTube and all sorts. Teach yourself how to do anything. And
Oh
then when you
yeah,
kind
that's
of,
something I've
yeah,
discovered recently. You go on YouTube, how do you,
yeah,
whatever,
do
anything
it.
you want to ask it, there'll be at least one video telling you how to do that
There
thing.
we go. Like TikTok as well, because I need like short, sharp information. Like,
Mm.
so I've just been on there just trying to learn bits and pieces. And then you can, if you want to develop further, then ask those people around you, like your managers and, senior people within your companies and things like
Yeah.
that. So I think that's what I would do a bit differently. Just use your initiative first. Try and, be confident in who you are, and what you've learned. Because I think it's sometimes you're just like, no, I can't do this. And you kind of get yourself into a hole. No, you can. It's kind of fake it till you make it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then once, you're there, the possibilities are endless.
So could you see the change in yourself as you were going through this process from the point where you thought, I don't want to go back after my maternity leave to landing that first job? Could you feel, or even once you got that first job, could you feel the difference in yourself as your confidence grew? And
Definitely. I still feel I'm there. I still feel like I'm growing because I feel like I'm a child because I'm starting it. I feel like I'm starting again, something totally different. I'm still learning, which I absolutely love. So I know from the beginning I was like, well, let's see how it goes. It started from a let's see how it goes to, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm in my second role. People think I'm good at what I do. This is great. I am good at what I do. I can get better. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, if you like, but I've seen myself progress and other people have seen it in me as well. So yeah, it's great.
how often, when you were teaching, would you have confidently said what you just said then? I am good at what I do.
Oh, that's the thing. You would have that lesson. It just wouldn't happen. You would have that one lesson and you're just like, oh, or something would happen that
Yeah.
would just dampen your day. And yeah, I didn't get those moments, I don't think, to kind of reflect enough or just be
Mm.
like, this was great. And it's just been a bit of a breath of fresh air to be in that space and also be in a company where the managers and so forth really push for you. I think within schools, everyone's so caught up, whatever it might be, Ofsted and standards and all this kind of stuff, um, that sometimes those things are forgotten. The way a teacher might feel or that kind of thing, it's forgotten. Just do your job. Whereas now, it's just a different working environment for me, and it feels great just to feel appreciated and know, okay, we want you to do better here. Let me support you. Let me, and it's like, oh, this is great. I'm not used to this. Um, so yeah, it is funny that you've said that because I've never thought about that actually, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't feel as a teacher, nobody, including ourselves, ever lets us feel like we have nailed it.
How sad. That's sad.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but every year the exam results have to be better than last year. Every year you have to do better on your performance management. Anyway, we're not here to bash teaching, we're here to help people see there's a future. So,
Absolutely.
how do you see your future progressing?
Ooh. I think for me, I'm currently enjoying where I'm at. I think before when I was teaching, I was like, I want to build, I want to do this, I want to be the head of this. And I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. For me is I want to learn new skills. Um, and wherever that takes me, I'm gonna go with that. I don't want to have like a set 5-year plan or anything like that. And I know that as my confidence is growing, as my skills are growing, I am then going to grow, whether it's in the same company that I'm in, department, or somewhere else. Um, I don't want to put that pressure on myself to be like, well, within this amount of time, you need to be a manager of. I just don't want to do that. I think I was caught up in that before, and I just no longer am. So for me, it's just about how can you be happy? How can you maintain mental health, um, doing something that you love, essentially. And that's where I am at the moment. And I think
Yeah.
that shines with what I do and when I talk about what I do as well.
Right. Yeah. And presumably it's a 9 to 5 job or
Yeah.
40 hours a week or whatever the standard 37 and a half hours a week. I don't even know. But anyway, one of those clearly defined contractual hours that you work and that's it.
That is it. I only have to go in the office 1 day a week. I work from home. I manage my own time as long as it's done. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, once 5:30 hits, that's it. I'm done. No one's messaging me later for things. No one's expecting me to come on early because I've got a big day. It's just not expected. It's these are your working hours. Yeah, do your
That's
best
it.
within those hours, and that feels amazing. And I
Yeah.
have to bring things home and have them out on the floor and prepare resources, get in early because oh my goodness, I
Yeah.
don't I don't miss those parts at all.
No. And how many holidays do you get then? How many days holiday?
I don't even know what it is. I think is it like 28?
Right, about I think that's about standard.
Yeah, I think that's the standard.
Do
I think in
you
that
do
as
you
well.
miss the 13 weeks? Because obviously you took every single day of those 13 weeks as holiday, like we
I,
all did.
I
Um, yeah, it's funny
no,
how yeah,
yeah,
you think going into teaching, yeah, one of the reasons I'm in teaching is because the holidays, but actually if you're not a teacher, you don't need 13 weeks off because you're not in bits at the end of every
you don't
term.
need them, no, and you don't have those 13 weeks. You're doing work in those 13 weeks. I
Yeah,
don't think I can remember any holiday where I just said, I'm doing nothing. It was
yeah,
impossible. Whereas now, like right now, like today, I'm on my holiday. And I just know that's it. I just wake up. I'm just, yeah, do whatever I want to do, go back to work and deal with whatever, whatever I've missed. So these 28 days, it's fine. I don't even feel like I need to take loads of time, like you said, because I'm not super stressed or anything. Like you're gonna have pressurized moments, of course, that comes with life,
yeah,
but not to the point where I'm like, I am dying for a holiday. Just take as and when.
yeah.
And it feels good, yeah.
Yeah, and I know another thing people would be interested in. You don't have to tell us numbers, but is your salary comparable with where it would be in teaching?
Mm, as in as in if I was to start as a teacher.
No, if you were still teaching now at the level you were at in your career.
Oh, well, for if where I'm starting now, it is lower. Yeah, it's lower. Can I get back to where I was? Yes. In a shorter space of time? Yes. Would I still, even if I couldn't, would I still be here? Yes. Because for me, it wasn't just, I just wanted to make sure that was something I did at the beginning was what do I need to be able to pay my bills and to be okay? That's all I need for now. I did the calculations. I was like, right, I just need to find a role where I can do that. So then it became that everything else was like a plus for me. And I just thought, oh, I can get back there. No
Yeah,
problem. I know I can. It's fine. Whereas when you were, teaching, it was like, this is all I'm getting for the amount that I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I need to move on a little bit.
mm,
So yeah, I know that money is something that can be it's a big deciding factor. I mean, the way everything is at the moment, I totally understand. But I think if you kind of do the calculations in your mind in reference to, well, can I be there in a shorter space of time? Am I going to be valued? Is my mental health, my physical health? It kind of just makes sense to kind of, make that move.
yeah,
Make that move.
yeah. And is there one piece of advice you would pass on?
Um, Stop talking about it. Just do it.
I
Just
like
do it.
that.
Yeah, I know I was guilty of this, but sometimes we talk so much about I want to do this, I want to do that, and we say, oh, in 5 years' time, if you're doing whether you're going to do another degree or you have to do courses, and we say, oh, I'm going to be old at this point. Regardless, time is going to pass on. Do you want time to pass on and you've gained something and you're happy, or do you want time to pass on and you're in the same place? So I just think just go for it because, as we know, life is short. So we need to just live it doing something that we are passionate about. That's the
Yeah,
best for us. Yeah.
yeah. I'm going to leave it on that note because I think that's a lovely note to leave it on. Thank you so much, Michonne. It's been absolute delight talking to you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.